Hi there, my name is Mary Kay Worth, and this is Bill Atkins' Life, Episode 4. And today Bill's going to tell us the story of when he felt closest to death. Bill, would you tell us about that, please?
Sure. I lived in Peoria, East Peoria, Illinois, and I worked for a company that made construction and mining equipment. And I contacted companies all over the world who bought mining trucks. And so I used to go to Suriname because they had an aluminum mine there, and they would process the ore and then send it to a processing plant right there in the country. One day, well, I should say this, I of course communicated with a lot of people, and I would ask them questions about local things, and one was, where can I get some real good seafood? And a guy said, oh, there's a seafood house over there in the Longshore district, and it's the best we've ever eaten. So I said, fine. So I got the address, and time for dinner, I went out and got a cab and told the guy where I wanted to go, and he knew exactly where I wanted to go. And he took me over there and dropped me off. I went inside, and the owner was waiting on people to some extent. And he welcomed me there, and he told me something about the fish that they have. And I selected whatever it was, and started being served. And it was just unbelievably delicious. And I'm a slow eater sometimes. And that night I was really a slow eater. And all of a sudden I noticed that most of the people were gone. And the owner came over and we talked a little bit. And by that time no one was there anymore. And I said, well, I better get going. Can you do me a favor and call me a cab? And he said, well, I'm sorry, but the cabs don't run at this time of the night. I said, what do you mean? He said, this is the Longshoreman district. And he says almost every night someone gets killed in a fight or brawl. They get a knife stuck in them or a gun. And so taxis won't come here. And I said, no, that's fantastic. So I said, well, what can I do? He said, well, I could take you there, but he says, I'm going to be busy here for about 2 to 2.5 hours. Well, I sure wasn't going to wait for 2 to 2.5 hours. So I said, all right, where is the district where I get a cab? And he said, right down my street here, the main street, and it goes right into the main square, and you can get a cab there. And it's about 7 blocks. And I said, that's interesting. And I looked outside and I saw some guys out there already. And I said, well, see you later. It was certainly delicious seafood. I'll recommend it to people, and I'll probably be back. So off I went. And I saw the longshoremen, groups of them, and none of them were that friendly looking. And I just started acting like I wasn't even in that area. I whistled, I sang a little bit, I yelled out to him, "How you doing? How are you?" You know, and I started walking, and I walked 7 blocks, and I don't know how many men I went by, but I just acted like I had lived there all my life. And I got into the square and got in a cab and went to the hotel. And I was so relieved when I got into that cab. I thought, boy, that was as close to death as I'll probably ever come. So,
Well, thank you.
I haven't shared it with a lot of people, but that's my story.
I do appreciate it, Bill. And we're going on 6 minutes, so we're going to say goodbye for this episode.
Fine.
Bye.
Bye.